minutes late. Just want to thank you again for being here tonight. So this is part 4. We have one more class next week. Let me ask you, how have you been doing with the homework? How's that been going with the homework? Calling your friend and going over the psychic work, how's that been going? And we had good results last week.
I didn't know. One partner couldn't do it.
Couldn't do it? Okay.
Yeah.
We tried to communicate several times, but our schedules were like.
I'm going to see if we can, I'll see if we can optimize this tonight. I'm going to give you some work to do here on this particular subject so we can get some practice. Yeah? But that'll be later. Ruthie, you're going to take over. She's going to give us information about some of the different blends.
Okay.
Right? Okay.
Well, this is really, really exciting. Okay, so a few classes back we were talking about making a prosperity blend for the next year. And as we know, life is really busy for all of us. And so it took me a while to finally go through and do the search of, I've got this huge database, do the search on certain terms to try to come up with which oils to start analyzing. And I came up with a pretty huge list of oils to begin analyzing. And so that was the first step. That was like, okay, I sent this to Dr. Berman. I said, okay, I didn't tell him what order they were in, but I knew what order they were in. And so it took a while, and he was busy, and I was busy, and then finally we said, well, wait a minute. Let's see what we need to do. So we shifted the focus a little bit, and you know, when we were talking about it, he says, well, I don't want it just to be the prosperity. I want it to support the health and well-being of all who use it, and we want to enhance the spirituality, the spiritual nature of the user. So keeping that in mind, I put this one aside, and I said, okay, I came up with other terms and started looking through all of the chapters of all of my oils and started putting together a list. And so I put together a list, and this list was much smaller. It was 14 oils. Actually, no, it was 12 oils because then I put not on this list and stop. So then I wrote a statement, and I sent it to Dr. Berman with, you know, the numbers 1 through 14, and then I sent a separate sheet with the oils listed. So then he calls me, and he says, I changed the statement. I said, okay. He changed the statement. I'm going to read you the statement. Basically, it's not exactly word for word because I don't know exactly the word, but he told me what he was including. And so the statement sounded something like this. Show me the best and most appropriate oils to add to the turmeric, myrrh, and frankincense. Well, first of all, let me tell you where that started as a base. So a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, I was making a blend of frankincense, myrrh, and turmeric because those oils are symbolic of the gifts of the Magi, right? Or Magi, I don't know how you say it. And so I had made a blend for my sister-in-law who's been having a lot of problems with her knee. So I made her this blend, and as I had just finished making the blend and Andy was with me, I get an email from Becky Smith, who is in this class usually, and she says, you know, I was listening to the show about a blend, and it's frankincense, myrrh, and turmeric. Can you make it for me? And I started laughing because I had just said, I'm on my way now with my sister-in-law because I made this blend for her. So we automatically knew that there was some synchronicity there. And so I was wanting to focus on that because of the significance of those 3 oils, especially with this season. So that's why those were like the base oils we were considering for this new blend. And so that's why the statement says the most appropriate oils to add to the turmeric, myrrh, and frankincense. To create a Magi blend that will support the health and well-being of all who use it, and it will enhance the spiritual nature of the user, and will transform humans into God. Turn someone so that somebody will become like Jesus. And those are your words, right?
Right.
So basically, he changed the statement, but you used the same list of oils that I had sent you, and he came up with the oils that were selected from there were lemon, rosewood, ylang-ylang, clary sage, lavender, and patchouli. Now, for those of you that have been using the stress oil, the Stress RX blend, you know that most of those oils are in the Stress RX blend. So we commented on the fact that that was in there. And so I said, well, I'm not surprised. And he said, well, how's that? I said, because whether we realize it consciously or not, when we are not connected to spirit, we are in distress. Our souls are in distress because our souls automatically are searching for that connection. So unless we're really searching for that connection, we're going to have stress in our lives. And so, that was my interpretation of it. And so basically, and I don't remember exactly what you said from that, but it was quite interesting because I'm trying to remember exactly what you had said, that we're doing the first, the made sense because the stress blend was to create the connection, but you said there is a trinity.
Right.
And so the next step is for us to learn to bring that consciousness up. And so what was very interesting was that the timing is perfect, because even though we were thinking that everybody was busy running around, we weren't able to really get it together. And I was worried that, I'm just not getting this to him in time. It all worked together because it just turned out so beautifully. The interesting part of the Trinity is that concept is in many belief systems and many religions. It's not just the Christian Trinity that we hear so often of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, but the Hindus have, Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh, which is the creator, protector, and destroyer. The Sanskrit symbol for Om is a derivative of the number 3. And in Judaism, you've got the Torah, the prophets, and the writings, and also you have Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So you've got the concept of the Trinity in so many different cultures and in traditions. And then what was the most interesting for me after we went through all of this iteration is that each one of the oils that were selected is in the original list that we were looking at for the 2017 prosperity. So I thought that was really exciting. So the next step is basically I've sent Dr. Berman a formula, per se, for him to scan to see if that's the most appropriate method. And then the next step will make the oil. But that's pretty much it.
Yep. Okay, there's a thought, Lucy, thank you. Thank you very much. Go back to the 3 basic oils, the turmeric, frankincense, and myrrh. I believe that, as we were saying, that represents the Trinity. So those oils were given to Jesus to have him understand that there was a Trinity, to have him associate with those energies of divine nature. It took him over 30 years of his life to now go through human experiences on his own to elevate himself to that point to become the Christ, so that now they worked together. Well, the idea that we have is, why do we have to wait all those years? Why do we have to wait most of our life to get to a certain point of understanding, and then by that point we've lost most of that time? Why can't we use energies like this? We already know with the 3 oils that there is a divine nature. But just like with Jesus, we're going through our human experiences, through our spiritual side, trying to elevate ourselves to understand what that looks like. What the hope is that those additional oils to those 3 will do that very quickly so that we can break through those limitations and get there very fast. That's the point of this. Okay? Now, sounds good. All right, we'll see.
Well, I was going to see if maybe Ricky would want on our homework in regards to that. We tried to connect, and I had a change of plans, and then she had other things going on too.
Sure.
But she did get to talk to the man about the stones. Was it a woman?
Yeah, it was actually my co-host on my radio show, Rosanna, who owns a crystal shop in Brooklyn. And what was interesting was that we were looking at the stone is called prasiolite, and it's the green variety of amethyst. And prasiolite will assist you to express personal emotion, and it will link the energy of the heart with the crown chakra. It will open both the crown chakra and the third eye and activate your inner vision.
Very good.
So it was very timely.
And then also the psychic ability.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't write that down.
Oh, I got
I
it.
sent you a whole thing.
Yeah.
I just wrote down a little bit.
Well, I could tell you what I've got on it. I didn't know what she was. Oh, that's funny. Okay, let's see. I just thought it was kind of interesting because I thought it was kind of interesting because I didn't know what I was getting when she gave me this ring.
And that was the ring you were talking about
This-
last week.
Yeah.
That was
Right.
The
so
one that I saw
obvious.
during our
Yes. Yeah, with
exercise.
that energy.
It's something about enhancing psychic abilities. And, I mean, there's a whole, there's several paragraphs here, but that's basically,
Right.
it was kind of a surprise to me, because she didn't tell me any of the,
And the rest of the story,
details.
as they say. Well, this is good. This is very good. Well, obviously the oil, I do believe, will help once we get this formed. Maybe gems, who knows what else we'll need to make this ascension, but I know we can do it. I know we can do this much faster than we're doing it and much more directly. So tonight we're going to work on this, can't we?
Okay, for those who did, or will elevate with the stream, for the kyanite, I brought that in.
Okay, very good. Did you sense something change when she released the stones? Did you feel the energy in the room shift? Yeah, yeah, they became much more energetic, right? The moment you released those on the table, you could feel that change, right? Very good, Kathleen, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. So tonight we are going to go through more of this, and we'll optimize and start using energies to help us. But before I forget, Pat, where are you going to be on Sunday?
Oh, yes,
Please stand.
yeah, please. I'll be at the Plano Holistic Festival of Health, or Life, or whatever they call that, at the Plano Center up in Plano, Sunday 10 to 6.
Do you have any idea where you'll be in that?
Probably be inside the main auditorium, in the back against the wall, somewhere in there where I was last year,
Okay.
earlier.
And the focus that you'll be doing this time?
Energy healing and tarot card readings, psychic readings, yeah. Yeah.
Bring your friends.
It's free, doesn't cost you anything to get in this one, where Addison cost you money. Several thousand people through there, it's really cool, they got a stage and they do cycle through people, they have dancers and music and different kind of, it's kind of fun.
Talking at this one, Gary?
Gary is talking, yes.
Thank you.
Gary will be there too, tell him, Gary.
12 o'clock, Sunny Slope Room. I'll be talking about, let's see, getting out of your way, getting into spirit. Some of the things we've done before, it'll be 45 minutes, so bring your friends, I'll see you there. Look at Pat, enjoy him also, okay, but I'd like to see you there, so take care of that. Is there anyone else who has something they want to say before we get started into this? Please.
I know it's not random, but my wife is like a geologist, and if you guys need help with the if you guys need help with the crystals or any of that, she gets all sorts of stuff for like, everybody else. I bought her an opal ring, I paid $500 for it, I got home, I gave it to her, she said, this is beautiful, thank you, and I just consented, I said, go ahead, tell me. She said, I could have got this same ring for $50. Okay, she's like, never buy stones, I will get the stones. So we have, she for a long time had an Etsy thing with crystals of varying kinds, and every time somebody would buy one, they just randomly tell her what it was, she'd come and hand it to me, she'd go, they got this or that, or she's like, charge it up, I'm like, okay. So my wife is the person to talk to about crystals too, because she has all the knowledge, and it's ridiculous.
Very good. In fact, if she can take a few pictures of maybe what she has, we can look at it very quickly and see.
Oh, I
if
could
there's
probably, I
anything
could bring
that
a
can
box
help
and we could probably feel it all, that might, fun.
us. Absolutely good. Anyone else? Before we get started?
That'll rev us up.
Any comments about any gratitude, anything else before we get started? Okay. Then let's jump to the focus this week. what I would like to do is, how many people brought something of value? Let's see. Danny, let me go to you for just a moment here. What did you bring? And don't tell us much about it, but what is it?
It's what it is, it's $7.
So done? Okay. Now, what I would ask him to do, may I have that for just a moment? Okay. Okay, thank you. I'll ask him to come up here in just a moment and just say that this was associated with, let's say, a family member or a friend or whatever you want to say, but no further than that, just that. Then I would ask you to take a look at this for about, I'll give you about 2 or 3 minutes, and I want you to write down your impressions. Now, your impressions can come from anything. They can be directly about this, they can be about what's going on around Danny, or anything that's coming up as you're doing this. But write down your impressions, try to keep them focused on this and the origin of this if you can. But I would ask you to take a piece of paper and just put a vertical line straight down the middle. On one side, let's just say, pre, we'll call this pre. So this will be the pre side where we're just bringing something up and you're writing your impressions. On the other side, put post. Now I'll explain the post in just a moment. Okay. So pre and post. So Danny, would you mind coming up and we'll give you, so just tell them something very general so they can't really focus on anything in particular, but it's a maybe family member or a friend or whatever. Okay? All right. So let's take, I'm going to turn the lights down. So let's just take about 3 minutes and write down your impressions of that coin. Danny, would you mind, if you don't mind, let's put that coin right here. Just put that right here. Just like this. Okay. So you guys could focus on that coin.
Gary, what do we put
Does
on the
it matter
columns
if
of
we don't
paper?
see it?
One side is pre and the other is post. We're working on the pre side right now. Okay? Do you want the light on?
Does it matter if we don't see the coin?
For this case, I'll make it the best that we possibly can. Okay, so we'll keep the light on. Excuse me. And if you don't mind, Dan, if you could sit over there, maybe in that chair, that's fine. And just sit there, because I want them to get the ambiance of you and the coin. And in your mind, you may want to put whatever you want to put in your mind about the coin. I'll give you another minute. Now just put down your impressions. It's not like there's a right or wrong answer. Whatever comes to you. 15 seconds. Okay, that was our pre-reading. Now, we're not going to exchange information or say anything at this point, but let's go to a post. The post now is this. Can I change the energy surrounding us to allow you to interact with the energies on that coin, the energies that Danny has, through different energetic systems that will enlighten and heighten your psychic abilities? And the answer is yes. So I did a lot of scanning to see what elements would really help with that. So we've got two of them. We have our sounds, nature, okay, and the rain sound is a very important one that will help with that. But then we've got something else. We have this little beauty right here. Now, with this one, you're going to be interacting with the elements of light in this, the photons. Those photons are going to work with you to help deepen your sense. There we go. That's what I want. I want you to focus on the sounds and the light. I want you to go deeply in that. It's almost as though it had 3 dimensions to that wall. And I want you to turn yourself over to that information about the coin and anything about Danny that comes to you this time. So this will be our post readings, and let's see if you get more information. So. You're getting sleepy. And one more minute. Now I turn the lights back on. Okay, Andy, can you give us just a little bit of history about the coin? Just a little bit.
It's not so much about the coin as much as it was a gift. You want me to just keep going?
A little bit more.
Okay, so yeah, it was a gift from my mom, but leading up to that, so when I was a kid, I don't know what point I figured this out, but I just knew that coins, quarters and dimes made before 1964 were made out of pure silver, so anytime I get coins in my hand, I was always looking at the side to see, or look at the date, and I was always looking to find silver coins, and as a kid, I came across a few quarters and dimes that I still have to this day. And at some point, my parents had a chest, they'd keep locked up, and I knew there was all kinds of old gold Mexican coins and older coins that my dad had collected. And anyways, I was always trying to get in there to see them, and of course, it's always locked. So I couldn't get in. And so, yeah, she gave me this as a birthday present, I think, on my 15th birthday.
Okay, very good. Now, just out of curiosity, could anyone sense a difference between the pre and the post energy in the room?
Yeah, I get an impression of a thin-built man wearing not a pinstripe suit, thin-build, average height. When we went to that, I got the background from that. I got him in it was a wood-paneled room. It was like a bank or a hotel or something, and he was had the coin in his right-hand pocket, and he was fiddling with it. And that's how it fleshed out after that. Before that, I got focused in on the man.
Mm-hmm.
After that, I got the room.
More expensive. Does that have anything associated with your work?
It can be coming from the coin.
It's older than what you're dealing with right here.
Oh, yeah, this is
The
almost.
suit he was wearing was from 1930s,
Right.
something like that, 40s, somewhere 40 through 50s, because it was a pinstripe classic cut suit. It's hard to tell. It was a zoot suit, it'd be easier. But it was not.
Okay, good. Anyone else? Anyone?
The pre, I got mother, and then I got, maybe several family members. And then as I looked at the coin, I got love first, and then just great love and energy, and I saw blue and pink.
That was in the pre.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And then in the other part, it was more like, it was just more the family, but all just coming and going together in relationships and just with dominant groups of energy.
Mm-hmm.
And colors are what mean things to me, and my purple is God and red is passion and different things like that, just coming and going and clustering together and then going apart, but it's been just all sharing
Did it
energy.
expand then when we put on the lights and the sound? Did you get then more information or see a broader view then at that point?
Well, yeah, it was much wider, and then I even went to the ceiling of, we had ceilings.
Very good. Very good. Regina, I think you raised your hand.
Yeah, I had a father figure, I was associated with a father figure.
This is
I saw-
pre or post?
Pre.
Okay.
And a little boy in South America. And then post, I got that it was hidden, stored in a dark place for safety and security.
Very good. Very good. And then, was there anything?
Yeah, I mean, it was like,
Anything else beyond that?
no, that was just, but there was a very
Good, very good.
definite change
Very
in
good.
the energy.
Very good. Kathleen?
I have a couple of questions. I need a little clarity. Okay, I think you said initially that your mother gave it to you, and then you said it was like a man gave it to you.
No, my dad had a coin collection and just kept them in a chest, locked up, and would keep us out of it. And
So your mother's coin was in there.
yeah, well, I mean, it was their stuff, but she I don't know if she asked him or not, but she just went in there and grabbed the coin and gave it to me for my birthday.
Two other questions is, your mother, you know where your mother got the coin?
Where she got it from?
Yeah.
That I don't know.
And what was the year on the coin?
1922.
Okay, so what I got was maternal, I got some type of father or something.
Okay, I got war. Okay, I got that he treasured it and loved it. It made him happy. Okay, I got that it was from the mother's line. And I think that was about, but that was about it.
That's good, that's very good. I understand, yeah.
Well, for Bree, I got that it belonged to his grandfather.
It may have, I'm not sure. I mean,
And then on the
I-
post,
that's
I
wrong.
just got that, instead of thinking so much about the grandfather, that you'd had it for a long time.
Since I was 15.
How old are you now?
43.
Huh?
43.
Really? You look like you're about 30.
Oh, free. I just got it was given to you by someone special, and I had, perhaps as a child or young when you were younger, that you had it for a long time, and that when you said it brings joy or smile to your face. On the post, a grandfatherly figure kept coming, so I'm thinking perhaps some of those coins that were in that chest might have been
Yeah, it's very possible.
coming from
that,
the
you know, my
grandfather,
dad-
because the
I'm
grandfather
not sure.
image kept coming.
Yeah, I'm not sure. My mom could have got it from her dad or my dad from his parents. I'm not sure.
Very good, very good. How about if we go to,
The impression I got,
Yeah.
that coin had been to different countries with different people. It had been going through ups and downs
Okay.
and had all kinds of experience.
Okay,
Okay?
and that was the pretty,
And it came to the right person
okay,
and have a very strong emanation. And the person that gave it to you, it gave it to you in good faith and gonna bring you a lot of luck. That's the
Very
vision
good.
I have.
very good, very good. How about if we go to another one, and let's see what comes up for this one. Is this helpful, what we're doing? Helpful, yes? Okay, let's do it. All right, Kathleen, so it's not from you. So why don't you come up? And just give us, like I said, just very general information so that they really can.
It's a thought that belonged to somebody in my household when very young.
So, wait,
When very young.
okay, very good, okay. All right, so let's take a few minutes. And if you want to, you can sit next to it, right there, that seat. You can focus in on that.
Can you repeat what
Kathleen, could you repeat that, please?
It is a sock,
A single song?
it's a single sock. Oh, it's belonged to somebody in my household when they were very young.
Does it have anything in it?
There's nothing in the sock right now.
It had a foot at one time.
Has not been
My
washed in
psychic powers would be a young, small foot. The foot was small.
Another 30 seconds. Okay, that's good. Okay, so, Evan, can I have you take a seat right there? You can hold on to the sock and you can send out whatever information you want. Okay, let's go back to our post here. Let's see what we get. Okay, Kathleen, could you fill us in with a little bit of information?
Okay, this is a sock that belonged to my puppy when she was very, very young. We got her a little sock, we cut it up,
And we used it as a jacket for her, because she was a little rat terrier, baby rat terrier.
Okay. So, impressions? Anyone? Sandy?
Well, the pre was that it belonged to a child, and for some reason I thought that it might have been used to hold marbles. And then on the post, I said that it was possibly ashes from a family pet for some reason.
Very good. Very good. Please.
This is kind of weird, but it was like, something was being thrown. I don't know if you used to play throw with the dog, but there were giggles. There was giggles, and it was a very dynamic person, so dynamic puppy.
Oh, very
Very
bad.
dynamic. That was my pre. But then the post was basically a young girl in a dress walking away calmly. And I have no idea what. But the pre was very vivid.
That was probably the other dog, who was very feminine, walking away. from her
Walking
pet
away,
owner.
very calmly, very solemnly, just walking away as if,
I've had it.
yeah, that.
Time to get away.
Anyone else?
Was it a boy?
No.
Okay, well, I got that something about it loved the dog. And,
Well, now, there was another dog, okay, we had three at that time. So the third dog was a Scottish Terrier, and she did love him, and he loved her. Was one of the few he loved.
and very mischievous and wanted to just explore and find out everything.
Oh, yes.
Very good. Very good. Was that the pre or post?
That's pretty.
Right. Okay. Anything from the post?
On post, I don't know, it was like, I guess I focused more on her, and that she loved it, and it was very intelligent, and she had a lot of joyous memories. But there were some trying times as well.
No, he's a bit of a diva.
Anyone else? Very good.
The person I see, it has a very strong character. And it would make to show the wrong to make it look like right, and it was wrong. And in the end of it, it would try to harmonize with everything. And to get, understand a little bit about what is going on in the world.
Could you say that again? I didn't quite understand the first part.
The person that word that it has a very strong character.
A very strong,
Yes. Very,
yeah, okay.
very strong character, and it tried to show that whatever he made, that the person made wrong, tried to show that it was right. It wasn't right. But in the end of it, tried to get into the senses that it was wrong of that person, what he did, and tried to make it right.
Yes, okay. It's a hard-headed Hannah. Okay. And she had a hard time getting to understand what she was being told or whatever. I mean, her attitude was like, okay, I'm a dog, so what did you expect? However, she did react very favorably to Tony. You know, I started toning with her, she would tone with me, and she actually became a lot more amenable.
Anyone else?
I just ask a question, because it's a small dog, but the dog felt big to me.
She probably
She had a
does
really
have a
big
bigger
personality. Yeah.
bigger, okay, she likes to be the alpha, okay? But unfortunately for her, she's not as big as the other dog, so the other dog puts her in place periodically, but the other one's more laid back. So she lets her get away with a lot, and then she puts her in a spot and replaces her.
Very good.
It had something in it and not a foot. So, but is it Bodie or penis? Is it one of your penis?
Thank you, Catherine. Thank you. Could you sense, again, I'm just asking, for the pose, now for the pose, could you sense that there was more energy or it was easier to get information? Could you sense that? For those of you who are saying yes, how are you doing it? How are you allowing yourself, I mean, what are you doing? For those of you who are saying yes, that they can sense more when the light's on and the sound's on. What are you doing? So for the rest of us, because we all want to learn. What are you
Zoning
doing?
out on the lights. Just zoning out on the lights.
Yeah, it's almost like hypnotizing, right? Easiest way.
See, for me, it's more auditory, so I have to close my eyes because the lights are distracting me, is that normal?
Possible, that's why I'm using both.
Yeah.
Using both. And you can close your eyes if you want, you know, and you can still sense the energy of the lights even though your eyes are closed. Yeah. So,
Me, I choose a star and I follow it. And then I choose another one and I follow it. Just trace it. And I go on. So I get lost in it.
good, these are all good ideas. And for what I do basically the same thing. I just imagine myself dissolving in that energetic field, and whatever it is I'm going to analyze, I imagine it's dissolving also. So now we're speaking to each other because I don't have form anymore, it doesn't have form anymore. So now the ego's gone. It's kind of like melting liquids together. Yeah,
That's cool.
that works for me. How about we do one more? Anyone else? Anyone else?
Could I have a question on that? For me,
Okay, sure.
for me, would it have been different? Because I couldn't really, couldn't really focus and anything. Would it have been different if they were the clear lights, the red?
This time around, do it with your eyes closed.
Okay.
Yeah, just do it with your eyes closed, and then you can tell me the difference. Yeah, but I think that'll make a big improvement.